Welcome to this 20-minute Yogalates practice for lower body strength and pelvic stability. When you're ready, come into a comfortable seated position. Lengthen the spine. Roll the shoulders back and down. If it's helpful, you might like to close the eyes. And we'll begin today's practice with 3 mindful breaths. Inhaling through the nostrils and exhaling, letting go. Giving yourself permission to soften and surrender. When you're ready, mindfully blinking the eyes open, scooting towards the top end of your mat, knees are bent, feet on the earth, palms on your shins. On your inhalation, find length, open the heart space, gaze up. Exhale, curl and round the spine, chin to chest as you scoop the belly. Let's go for 2 more rounds. Beginning to mobilize the spinal column and find a core awareness. From here, rounding the spine, and with the support of your hands, mindfully lowering your back, your head onto the mat. Walking your feet in close to the glutes, extending the arms the length of the body, taking a moment to ensure that your weight is evenly distributed across the left and right hemispheres of the body. Relaxing the face, unclenching the jaw. Noticing the connection between your body and the surface beneath you. Continuing to breathe with ease and fluidity. You might like to take this opportunity to set the tone for your practice. Perhaps calling upon an empowering affirmation or an emotion that you would like to embody. Whatever helps to anchor you in the here and now. Inhale to prepare. On your exhalation, engage the core, tuck the pelvis under and rise up into our bridge pose. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, lower the body down 1 vertebra at a time. Inhale, return the arms the length of the body. Let's go again. Press into the heels. Exhale, rise up, engage the glutes and the hamstrings. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, rest the backs of your hands on the mat. And on your exhalation, roll it down 1 vertebra at a time. Inhale, arms the length of the body. Continuing with this sequence, being mindful to press the big toe mounds into the mat so that we're engaging the inner thighs, creating a bit of spaciousness between the chin and the chest. Doing your best to soften the facial features, relaxing the jaw, the throat. Finishing off your final round. Lowering the vertebra down 1 at a time. Returning your arms the length of the body. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, raise your arms to 90 degrees. Palms facing one another. Rise into your bridge and lower down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Let's go for 2 more rounds. On your next exhalation, keep the pelvis elevated and let's find some small pulses here, lowering down halfway and lifting right back up. Glutes are engaged, pressing your shoulders and your shoulder blades into the mat. Really doing our best to isolate the movement in the glutes and the hamstrings, and of course the inner thighs and the core are working here to support us. Let's stay up and breathe. Lower the arms the length of the body and mindfully lower down. Guide your knees into the chest. Maybe sway from side to side. You could turn your head from left to right if that feels nice. Really taking any movement here that helps you find a nice release. Helps you let go of any tension. Return the soles of your feet to the earth. Arms are on the earth. Exhale, rise up. From here, inhale to prepare. Exhale, raise your right leg. Lower down. And now let's raise our left leg. So coming into some alternating leg lifts. We're maintaining a 90-degree angle with the knee that's lifted. And we're doing our best to keep the pelvis stable here. So we're really working on disassociation as we keep the rest of the body stable and work on lifting up one leg, finding a nice flexion and extension of the hip joint. Pressing firmly into the heel of the foot that's grounded, feeling the activation. This is a really beautiful way to help us correct any postural imbalances, as well as improving our stability, knowing that we are close to the ground. Well done, return both feet to the mat. Inhale, and on your exhalation, lower down. Softening the face, connecting with the breath, breathing into the lower belly, the ribs. On your next exhalation, return to your bridge pose. From here, we will raise our right leg, lower and lift, lower and lift. So we're keeping the right leg lifted, we're maintaining that 90-degree angle, we're lowering the pelvis down and we're lifting it right back up. So it's perfectly natural if you begin to feel quite a bit of heat along that supporting leg, the left glutes, the left hamstrings. From here, you might like to straighten your leg, point your foot, and continue with the same movement, lowering and lifting the pelvis. And again, we only want to raise the hips as much as we can to feel that engagement in our glutes without compromising the form of our torso. So if you notice that the rib cage begins to puff up, this could be an indication that we've taken it a little bit too far. Let's keep the hips up and find some small pulses here. Lift and lower, lift and lower. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep your hips lifted. Rebend the knee, lower down, and lower your hips down. Guide your knees into the chest, taking any release that feels good. Mindfully returning both feet to the earth, and we'll take this exercise on the other side. Exhale, rise up. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, float your left leg up, keeping the pelvis stable. On your inhalation, lower the pelvis down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Every time you raise up, drive into the heel of your right foot, fire up the glutes, and check in with the upper body. Are we keeping the shoulders and the shoulder blades stable? The collarbones are broad, the face is relaxed. You might like to straighten your leg, point your foot, and continue with the same movement. If you have the mobility, this is a nice opportunity to stretch the back of the left leg, but know that you can still receive the same benefits of this posture with your leg bent. So honoring where you're at today. Now let's keep the pelvis lifted and find some small pulses here, lifting and lowering a few centimeters. We're here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Lower your foot down and mindfully roll down one vertebra at a time. Guide your knees into the chest. Release the lower back. Deepen the breath as you guide each inhalation towards the lower belly. Exhaling, letting go. Return your feet to the mat and let's continue with our pelvic stability exercises. Find a nice inhalation to prepare. On your exhalation, engage the glutes, draw the navel to the spine and peel up one vertebra at a time. Let's place our palms onto the sacrum. Wrists are roughly aligned with the elbows. Let's raise our right knee and maybe extend the leg skywards, coming into a supported single leg bridge lift. If it's helpful, you might like to flex the foot, engaging both legs here. Mindfully rebend the knee, lower down. Keep the pelvis lifted. If you need to reposition your hands, you can do that. And when you're ready, guide the left knee into the chest and maybe extend your legs skywards. Keeping the ribs knitted. One breath here. Mindfully release. Keep the pelvis lifted. Option to keep your hands where they are. Otherwise, interlace your fingers together, pressing the arms into the mat. Inhale, raise the right knee to the chest. And maybe straighten your legs skywards. Really feeling the heat along the back of your left leg here. One mindful breath. Gently release. Swapping the cross of your hands, and this time guiding your left knee in towards the chest. Maybe you stay there, or maybe you straighten the leg. Taking a moment to notice how these static strengthening postures feel in comparison to the dynamic exercises we were performing earlier. Gently release, left foot on the earth. Release the arm bind and lower it down one vertebra at a time. Guide your knees into the chest. Breathe. Okay, friends, let's stay with it, returning your feet to the earth. Inhale to prepare, soften the belly. Exhale, engage the core, posterior pelvic tilt, rise up into your bridge pose. Extend your right knee, raise the leg, flex the foot and lower to our starting position. Inhale, rise, point the toes. Exhale, flex the foot and lower down. So we're keeping the pelvis stable. The leg stays extended. We're raising the leg skywards. And then we're lowering our leg to our starting position. So our starting position is both knees aligned and the leg pointed out on a diagonal. Driving into the heel of your left foot, firming up the glutes, and really engaging the quads of your right leg. The more muscles we can recruit, the more easily we are able to distribute the weight evenly across the body. Okay, lower your foot down, lower the pelvis down. Take a moment to stretch out the back of your left leg, finding a nice hamstring release, bending and straightening your left leg skywards. Lower down and let's find this on the other side. On your exhalation, engage the core, rise up. From here, extending your left leg out, pointing the toes. Inhale, raise the leg. Exhale, flex the foot and lower down. Inhale, lift, point the toes. Exhale, flex the lower down, keeping the legs straight, finding your longest leg line. Every time you flex your foot, driving into the heel. Continuing to plug your shoulder blades and your shoulders into the mat. Nice, steady breaths, keeping that core active. With every exhalation, engage your pelvic floor. Let's go for one more round. Mindfully lower your foot down, lower the back down, guide your knees into the chest. And now let's find our hamstring stretch with the right leg. You might like to interlace your fingers behind your thigh, keeping the sacrum grounded. While it's done, lower both feet down. We have a few more exercises. Heels are in close to the glutes, soften the belly, relax the face, connect with the breath. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, engage the core. Posterior pelvic tilt, rise up into your bridge. Extend your right knee, point the toes. Raise the leg, raise your left heel. Lower the left heel and lower your right leg. So we lift, we raise the heel, we lower the heel, and we lower the leg. We're keeping the leg extended, we're keeping the foot pointed. If it's too much to raise and lower your heel, know that you can definitely keep that foot grounded. This is a great way to help us engage the calf muscles of the left leg, as well as improving foot and ankle strength and stability. Checking in with the upper body, where can you invite softness? And as we check in with the lower body, where can we engage more muscles? Reminding yourself of your inner strength, your inner focus. You are so capable. Final round. Rebend your knee, lower the foot down, and lower down one vertebra at a time. Beautiful work, my friends. Taking a breath here. Maybe turning the head from side to side. Honoring what your body needs. On your next exhalation, rise into your bridge. Turn on the core, the glutes. This time, let's extend our left leg, point the toes. Inhale, raise the leg. Raise the right heel, lower the heel. Exhale, lower with control. We lift the leg. We raise the heel, we lower the heel, and we lower the leg. Now, if you want to change up your breathing pattern here, by all means, you can do that. The intention is to really just keep breathing and to perhaps find a little bit of fluidity and grace with your movements. Now, at the start, these exercises can feel really challenging, so pause when you need a break. You can lower your foot down and just join us when you're ready. We've got a few more rounds on this side. Let's go for 2 more rounds. Final round. And mindfully re-bend your knee, lower the foot down. Lower down one vertebra at a time. Guide your knees into the chest, finding a beautiful release. Let's come into happy baby, grabbing hold of the blade edges of the feet, guiding the knees towards the earth, pressing your sacrum into the mat. If you'd like to find a nice opening for the legs, you can straighten one leg at a time, maybe straighten both legs, or if you prefer to keep your knees bent, that's perfect as well. Taking 2 to 3 more mindful breaths here. When you're ready, guide your knees in towards the chest. Lower your left foot down and let's cross our right ankle atop of the left thigh, flexing the right foot, coming into our supine pigeon pose or our figure 4 stretch. Interlacing your fingers either around your shin or the underside of your thigh. If it's helpful, you might like to circle out your left foot, your ankle. A lot of the unilateral sequences that we performed are quite demanding on the feet and the ankles, so this can be a really beautiful way to find a nice release, to honor these regions of the body that have done such a beautiful job to support us. From here, let's come into our supine cow face pose, guiding your right knee in front of your left, grabbing a hold of the blade edges of your feet, guiding your knees in towards the chest, towards the midline, as you pull your feet away from the body. Again, pressing your lower back into the mat, and noticing the sensations around the outer hips, the glutes. Uncross the legs, knees into the chest. Lower your right foot down and let's find our pigeon pose on the other side. Finding your expression. Now let's come into our supine cow face pose, this time crossing our left knee atop of our right. Doing your best to soften into the upper body. Gently release. Maybe find some nice circles with the knees and the hips. And now let's lower our left foot down, interlace your fingers behind your right leg. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, bend, lightly flexing the foot. This is a beautiful way to stretch our hamstrings, the calf muscles. You can continue with this dynamic stretch, or if it feels okay for you today, keeping your leg lifted and maybe extending your left leg towards the mat. Let's keep both legs active, hips are squared. Option to stay here, or with your left hand, grab a hold of the blade edge of your right foot, guide your leg over to the left. As you turn your gaze to the right, this is a really nice way to stretch into the outer hip, the IT band. Mindfully release, guide the knees into the chest, lower your right foot down, and let's find our dynamic hamstring stretch with our left leg. And while we are using the arms to support the leg here, see if you can find a bit of softness in your hands, in the shoulders. If you'd like, you can come into a static stretch, maybe lowering the right leg down. Nice deep breaths. With every exhalation, giving yourself permission to soften the muscles a little more, to perhaps relax the mind a little more. Taking one nourishing breath here. Feel free to stay in this posture, or this time using the right hand to grab a hold of the outer edge of your left foot as you guide the leg across the body, driving into the heel of your left foot. Mindfully releasing, guiding the knees into the chest, and when you're ready, let's rock up into a seated position. Coming into our butterfly pose, soles of the feet together, knees splay wide. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Option to stay upright, or if you'd like to take this further, stretching into the glutes and the outer hips, let's find a nice forward fold. Really honoring your depth and your range of motion for today. I invite you to stay in this posture for as long as you like. Maybe return to any other postures that feel interesting. And when you're ready, let's come into a comfortable seated position. Gifting yourself this opportunity to return inwards. You might like to close the eyes. Soften the belly. On your next inhalation, reach the arms skywards, palms together. Exhale, lower your hands to heart center. Honoring your practice. Recognizing the courage and the strength that you demonstrated in deciding to get on your mat today. So thank you all so much for joining. Sending you love and light. May you be well. May you experience true peace and joy.